Some stories do not explode when they begin. They whisper. They sit quietly in the background of Irish life, half remembered, half avoided, and every so often years later, they come back. Not louder, not clearer, just heavier. Daniel Aruebose is one of those stories, because this case did not start with sirens or breaking news banners. It started with absence, the most dangerous thing in any investigation. Absence gives people time. Absence gives stories space to change. Absence lets mistakes harden into routines. And in Donabate, a quiet coastal town in North Dublin, that absence belonged to a toddler. Daniel was very young when he disappeared, so young that most people never even heard his voice. He did not vanish in public. He did not run out of into the night. He simply stopped being seen. And that detail mattered more than anything else in this case. At first, there was no national panic, no rolling coverage, no frantic search broadcast live, just questions. Quite one. Where is Daniel? When was he last seen? Who was with him? And those questions were answered, at least on paper. Because when the guards first became aware of concern, they did what they always do. They spoke to people. They took explanations. They logged timelines. They listened. And when explanation sounds calm enough, official enough, life keeps moving. But here is the uncomfortable truth about missing child cases. If no one screams, the clock keeps ticking. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and the absence slowly becomes normalized. No sighting, no photos, no update, just a child who never grows older. That should never happen. And yet, years passed. During that time, Daniel's name existed in a strange space, known to authorities, but not fully known to the public. This was not a case that ever really closed. It was a case that stayed suspended, waiting for something concrete, waiting for proof, waiting for truth to stop being theoretical. Then came the moment that changed everything. Daniel's remains were discovered in North Dublin. There is no dramatic way to say that. There is no language that softens it. The missing child was found, and with that discovery, every assumption collapsed. This was no longer about a child who might return. This was about a child who never would. And instantly, the investigation transformed. What had once been treated as a missing person concern became a death investigation. And not just any death, the death of a toddler, discovered long after the moment help could have mattered. This is where the timeline becomes brutal, because once remains are found, investigators rewind everything, every date, every explanation, every moment someone said, "That's the last time I saw him." Forensics specialists step in. The past is reopened with tools that did not exist or were not used years later. And most importantly, stories are tested. In cases like this, the truth does not usually hide in complex conspiracies. It hides in small inconsistencies, in answers that were once accepted but no longer survive scrutiny. The guards reviewed prior statements. They re-interviewed individuals. They examined who had responsibility for Daniel at key moments. They aligned forensics, finding with known timelines, and slowly, carefully, the investigation narrowed. Which brings us to today. A woman in her 20s has been arrested on suspicion of murder. That sentence alone tells us more than people realize. It tells us this is not a fishing expedition, arrests in cases involving children and long times do not happen without substantial groundwork. This suggests that the guards believe a criminal offense occurred and that this individual may be directly connected to Daniel's death. It also tells us that the investigation has moved from review to confrontation. An arrest is not a conviction. That matters. But it is a line in the sand. It is the moment the state says we believe something serious happened here and we are prepared to prove it. Behind closed door, this place is intense. Interviews are structured, legal rights are observed, questions are precise. Investigators are not looking for emotions, they are looking for consistency or the lack of it. For the community, the impact is immediate. Donabate is not anonymous. People remember, they connect dots, they feel the weight of years they cannot get back. A child lived and died without answers. That knowledge does not sit quietly. And nationally, this case strikes a nerve Ireland knows too well. We have seen what happens when time delays justice. We have learned, painfully, how silence can protect the wrong people and abandon the most vulnerable. This is why this arrest matters so much. Not because it answers everything, but because it signals that the waiting might finally be ending. Daniel Aruebose was not just a name that drifted into obscurity. He was a child whose absence demanded accountability. And now, years later, the system that once moved too slowly is moving again, deliberately, carefully, and under intense scrutiny. This is more to come in this case. Court process, legal decisions, verified outcomes, but today marks something important. Daniel's story is no longer frozen in uncertainty. The silence has been broken, and Ireland is watching. If you want fast updates on Irish true crime, subscribe. We cover everything before it hits mainstream headlines. Thank you.